We all good.
Yep.
Trapped. I don't know. Like, we're in a different position than usual, I think.
Oh, like the chair?
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
Just trade chairs.
I've been thinking about moving to my office and recording separately. I know. We wouldn't be near each other anymore. But the audio would be better.
I don't know about that.
It would. I'm so much louder than you, so it's like, it's not even.
Are you introducing this melodrama because it's the Star Guardians episode?
Oh my god. Maybe. Just broken his heart.
It's fine.
Together we can record anything. He's so naive.
My Star Guardian powers are weakening. My light, it's dull now.
But this audio is good, I will say.
We ready?
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you guys both drink your drinks.
Yep.
Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're going to be talking about seasons 1 and 2 of the Star Guardians alternate universe. We have to break it up. There's too much shit in there.
Yeah, way too much.
But season 1 wasn't enough. We were like, let's do season 1. And then Mark's like, is this the only story? And he sent us a link. And we're like, that's not even...
It's like 20 words.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just like
One-heimer.
talking
Here's the
about
setting.
the... Yeah, it's like, long ago, there was a star, and then it
Ancient
bursts
land,
into
yeah.
other stars, and that's the Star Guardians.
So is that your
It
summary?
splooged its light across the universe. And thus
And it's all
Time.
inside
It
of us.
didn't.
We're all those starlight sperms. Which is more inspirational.
Y'all made
than
it
I say that
nasty
loud.
so
Yeah,
fast.
right?
We've been recording for 2 minutes.
He started
welcome.
Anyway, I think I just summarized what the Star Guardians are pretty well.
Pretty much.
Sure.
Yeah.
So season 1 and 2, if you're unfamiliar,
John's the expert on the Star Guardians.
at this point.
Like, non-ironically. So many skins he's read. He's read the stories for, I think, every single skin, or very close to.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
I think,
at least the
like-
ones that were out at the time.
Yeah. There was definitely a time when you, like, skimmed it once, and I applauded you, because we had, like, just talked about it or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah. Like, there were 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, so season 1, that was the first one, the new batch of Star Guardians. That one was the Lux, Poppy, Lulu, Jinx, and Janna. That old group.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first ones released, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the little blurb for that, magically empowered by the first star, high schooler Lux and her team of Star Guardians secretly protect the world from interstellar monsters, but who will protect them from the drama of Valoran City High?
We got nothing about that.
Yeah, I had forgotten about the little. It does read like it's gonna be a big old like high school drama thing, right? Like, oh, who's in the flag team or whatever, right?
And I guess you get a little bit of that in the Starfall story. You get a little kind of like high school type drama there.
They kind
and
of
I guess
talk
a little
about
bit of
high
cinematic.
school,
Yeah.
but not really.
And
Yeah.
and some of them
It's
are
not-
like in college, right? They said it from the university.
Yeah, and Lulu's supposed to be a child,
The
but
Lulu
also
thing's kind of
she's...
weird.
The Lulu thing is really weird.
No one notices that
That
it's
she's
glamour.
just kind of there. She's
Could
glamored.
be a glamour thing, yeah.
They just move it to Star Guardians.
Jana's like a grown ass woman. She's just going back to the
Right.
energy. You know what? That's fine, right? It's always you're never too old to learn, right?
Yeah, and then she raised her hand. She's like, as a mother, I just want to...
As someone who is around with the creation of this earth, I have some thoughts.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
and then
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, season 2 is when they introduced the second group of Ari, Misfortune, Ezreal, Soraka, and Syndra.
Nice. Off the dome, dude.
Well, it's been a while.
I can remember.
And this one, veteran Star Guardians, Ari and Misfortune, suddenly reappear in Valoran City, having rebuilt their team after an unknown event destroyed their previous squad. Seeking to defy the destiny of every Star Guardian who takes up the oath, they join the fight alongside Lux and company as void beasts descend upon the city. Now, we do know what this event is at this point, now that season 3 and 4 are out.
Yes.
But,
we're just talking about seasons 1 and 2.
Right, yeah. It was interesting, even going back into like the season 1 skin descriptions and things, how there's a lot of like leads in terms of like, oh, something's kind of mysterious about Janna, you know, she knows more than she lets on, she's wise beyond her already old ass years, you know. So it feels like from the beginning they expected to like we're gonna make more of these fucking things. People are gonna go nuts for this shit. This is like it's like blood in the water.
Yeah, I do feel like maybe they forgot about some of those leads that they led. I feel like the Janna one specifically, I'm still waiting on.
I keep forgetting Janna exists.
For her. You know, they definitely pulled at the Syndra more than I thought they would in later ones, but still don't necessarily talk about why Janna's so pissy at Syndra all the time.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't remember those details. I know like the big strokes of what happens later on, but I was able to really, like I said, compartmentalize that part of my brain when I was reading season 1 and 2, so I can be like a fresh-faced babe in the woods. I'm like, oh, what's going on with Janna? Why is Janna so mysterious? And what's going on? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. They're never gonna tell you. So,
League, baby.
Right? It's like our lost rules. I gotta tell you if there's a specific mystery that's not gonna get wrapped up by the end, so you know ahead of time.
Sometimes I ask, sometimes I don't.
That's good to know. That's
I've
an
stopped
interesting
asking.
idea.
I was asking a lot in the beginning.
Nope.
It was an interesting idea, wasn't it?
That bear, the polar bear, yeah.
Oh, great.
It would have been cool to know about.
Great. Okay, so how do y'all feel about just season 1 talking about it? Because there's not a lot there, right? Like, I mean, and when...
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about season 1.
What I was going to ask is,
really,
like, the story really kind of starts when the new team shows up. Would y'all want more from just Lux and her team doing sort of the, I don't know, more straightforward magical girl thing?
Personally, yes.
Yeah, I would have liked it.
Particularly, I'm curious about, like, because Lux is the leader, but Janna's the oldest, but this is Janna's first team as far as we know, or as far as Lux knows, yeah? I just find that dynamic odd, right? That Janna's not the leader, that Lux is the leader, but Janna's her mentor, but Janna's part of the team.
It feels right from like a narrative perspective. Like I can see the episode of the anime where it's like Lux is kind of assumes that Janna will be the leader, but she in some way shows her leadership potential, and Janna's like, you know, you're the one who can really lead this team, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah,
that'd be a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would be
great episode.
Be enough, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like to know a little bit more, like we see in the Burning Bright cinematic. Like there is some sort of like falling out between Lux and Jinx, and Jinx leaves the team for a while, leaves school for a little while, apparently.
Yeah, like her desk is empty.
But by the time we get any sort of stories, we're past that. They've made up what happened.
They never talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's like if you're coming to this, the expectation is that you're already pretty familiar with at least a couple of really big names in the space. Like you fuck with Sailor Moon type, you know. So you already kind of know what's going on. You don't necessarily, maybe you don't need an origin story because it's like I get it, right? It's let's get to something a little meatier. I don't know. This is interesting. It's interesting how little was there, given how much there is later on. To me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they released it with so little, really, like lore wise.
Mm-hmm. All right, you want to dive into the season 2 story?
Well, before we get into season 2, I do want to. So I don't have like all the lore blurbs written down here because like everyone's kind of. I could summarize someone's character in a quick sentence.
Once we talk about the stories, you'll know all about the characters and kind of what they're like anyway. But
I did want to read the blurbs for their magical mediums because that's the important stuff.
Okay, sure. Hit me with it.
They all have like a little animal.
Yeah, a little animal or a tool in some cases.
Oh, okay, right.
So... We'll start with Lux, obviously the leader of the team. Her magical medium is the Radiant Staff. Now, while some Guardians' unique powers manifest in a magical creature, others hone their innate powers into weapons. So Lux's selfless nature and purity of purpose are channeled into an ever-glowing staff blessed by the starlight. With enough coaxing from Lux, it can also draw out a sweet, long-eared companion named Mimi.
Oh, I don't think I remember seeing Mimi in these stories, right?
Yeah, we don't ever see Mimi in these stories.
Oh, really? Interesting. I wonder
That's so
why.
sad.
Why?
They all have a cute little animal companion
Right.
fighting with them, and Lux is just...
I'd have to look at this splash art, but we might see Mimi in like the last picture of Pajama Party. I'd have to double check. There was a bunch of mediums in there. I couldn't.
I
place
kept
exactly
forgetting
whose was whose.
about them until they would bring one up in the story, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, I can't tell you whose medium that is,
I
except
remember
Jinx's because she
yes.
has 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
And maybe,
See, that's why I'm here.
Ezreal's, but not by name, right? Well.
Also, I also wrote some important information about each character.
Sure.
Lux's favorite food is cake. Her hobby is sleeping and eating. Her favorite subject is music, and her blood type is A.
So that's good to know.
She's very Sailor Moon, I suppose, in that way. That's interesting. She is very soggy,
yes.
I suppose. Right?
It's interesting because her character doesn't feel very Sailor Moon to me at all.
No, she's way more neurotic.
Yes.
I suppose. Or like more worried about being really perfect and whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, she's more
got
responsible.
anxiety between her.
And things like that. Like her hobby being sleeping and eating feels weird, and it doesn't feel
That's like a
right.
Jinx
I would
hobby.
think she would like, yeah,
Right?
I think she'd
Especially-
been reading and
If I'm remembering correctly, a very specific thing they mention about her sleeping is that she has nightmares
she has
almost every
nightmares
night,
all the
and
time,
she
and they can't
can't
go back
fall
to
back
sleep.
They think she's good at it, just that she liked it. It's fucked up now. There should have been a line in the
She
story.
loves these horrible nightmares.
I used to love sleeping. It was my favorite thing to do, but now all these fucking nightmares.
I'm so annoyed by this right now, and I didn't expect to be. Like, I'm so pissed off that they put sleeping and
Isn't it
eating
so-
as her favorite hobby.
Right?
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's get the others. Maybe it's just a
That's right.
Okay.
We'll go Jinx. We'll move on.
Hers is going to be like being nice to people
responsibility.
and hugs. Responsibility and hugs.
Her magical mediums are Kuro and Shiro. Creatures known to transform into physical weapons, Kuro and Shiro are Jinx's willing tools of mayhem. Kuro is ferocious and adores all things colorful, explosive, and glittery. Shiro's blank expression masks a truly disturbed soul. Jinx recalls only ever seeing Shiro's strange grin in the aftermath of one particularly savage fight. Favorite food? Curry.
Okay, yeah.
Hobby? Racing. Favorite subject? None. Blood type? B.
Okay.
Racing?
Racing.
That's fucking stupid, too.
No, we've all seen her race in the.
She races to destroy.
She's literally
She's
lounging
racing.
around in like every story if
That is
she just like
true.
doesn't want to get up from her seat, or she's like in the pool or a beach, like they went to the beach and she's just like, I'm gonna lounge in the water.
She did race to go do cannonballs.
That's true.
Yes, racing.
I don't know. Okay.
Uh,
John, these
okay,
better get
this one
better,
better be
or we're
good.
gonna.
we got Poppy. Magical medium, Light's hammer. Poppy found a loyal companion in the form of a trusty weapon, and her bravery and intense desire to do good are now bound in the weight of her winged hammer. Only Poppy can wield it. If the hammer of light had feet, it would stubbornly dig its heels into the ground, rejecting anyone else who dared try to carry it. Her favorite food, oh boy, okonomiyaki. Hobby is shot put.
Okay.
Okay.
Favorite
I like
subject, athletics.
Athletics. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Blood type, O.
That. Okay. I
Sure.
get, you get thumbs
okay,
up
I
on
could
Poppy.
take shot put. A little Miss Trunchable
Yeah.
type, you know.
Now we've got Lulu, whose
Okay.
magical medium, you're never going to believe this, is named Pix.
I feel like they wanted Lulu to be one, and they're like, we have to explain the animal that she has with her pigs. Maybe they just all have animals. I don't know.
Maybe, they've all got them now. Except for Poppy. Her hammer's got wings.
And
So you
Lux.
just, it can just be the weapon too, right?
Yeah.
Now, Pix has been with Lulu since long before the whimsical youth joined the Star Guardians. Or so she claims. A golden ball keeps the bubbly creature afloat, though Pix can also fly by flapping its long ears. It loves food that tastes green. Favorite food? Cupcakes. Hobby? Gardening. Favorite subject? Agriculture. Blood type? AB.
They all have different blood type. What's going to happen if one of them's gooshing blood one day?
That is a big problem. Maybe the starlight makes them all like their blood types compatible. What I was gonna say is I was loving the image of Lulu and like the 4-H, like the Future Farmers of America Club, right? You know, like
that doesn't really fit either. The gardening.
Yeah, she doesn't really garden. She does much more coloring.
She's drawing a lot.
Coloring
Maybe
and
an
eating
art class
pancakes,
would be
as
more,
far as we know.
Yes, because she's basically a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
but
right.
not
in their high school classes with them.
Yeah. She acts like a weird possessed child in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Yeah, like when she disappeared. Yeah, she's got her weird drawings and she's predicting evil.
Yeah, there's going to be more of us. Yeah, the stars are coming.
I think I'm open to it.
Now,
they played into it more.
Lulu is one of the only ones that can directly speak to the first star, it seems, and gets
I think its
direction
name is
from them.
Lucifer. That first star.
It's like the North Star from Cat Quest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cat Quest 3, which we beat. We did it.
No big deal.
Now we're going back to Cat Quest.
they're always bragging about this shit. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? It's like, oh, we beat Cat's Quest 3.
Listen, I don't beat a lot of video games, so it is kind of exciting for me to get to the end of one. And it's only because John kept going, want to play Cat Quest tonight? Want to play Cat Quest tonight?
I got very into it.
Yeah, he did.
Persistence.
I was dragging him down.
Eh.
Dork.
Now, finally, we've got Janna, whose magical medium is Zephyr. Of those who know Janna, Zephyr is her oldest friend and confidant. It often glides around her, emanating a soothing glow that calms allies in the midst of even the most chaotic battle. While other magical companions on its team exude energy and whimsy, Zephyr's quiet and unassuming nature serve as a counterbalance to keep the group in harmony. Favorite food? Natto. Hobby? Reading. Favorite subject? History. Blood type? We got another AB.
Okay, some of them are matching now.
Well, you know, is one of them a universal donor? I don't know how blood types work.
I know, I
I
always
think
forget.
O negative is the universal.
Maybe.
Universal
It doesn't
donor.
specify positive or negative for any of them, so these blood types mean nothing.
Are they? They're not. Okay, so are they actually like Earthlings? Were they called? Are they from a different planet specifically? I assume they were. Because okay,
Now,
great question.
it's a great question. I feel like in Starlight, it starts with what kind of looks like them falling to Earth, but that is also like a dream she's having
And in the
when
video it's
asleep in
presented as a
class, so
dream,
who
yeah.
knows?
But there's a
It
lot of
does
shots
also say that, like...
I was gonna say there's a lot of shots of them too in otherworldly like settings, right? They're on planets that are clearly
Yeah.
not Earth.
Yeah.
That's also very Sailor Moon, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean that's true.
But at the very least, we know that Jinx and Lux are childhood friends. So wherever they're from, the two of them are from the same place.
I mean, I think them being from Earth seems the most reasonable. It's also that there's a line, I think it might be in the Starfall thing too, about, maybe not the video, but the little season 1 blurb about them having to like blend in, like they have to appear to be like the inhabitants as if they're aliens, right? But that's weirder to me.
I kind of assume that just means that they have to like seem like normal people.
Yeah, I think
still,
that's what it's more
I
intended
guess.
to be. So.
Well, there are like, we see, it doesn't come up a lot, but I guess it comes up a little bit in the In-Client event for season 4 when Neela comes from just a different dimension entirely and has to pretend to.
All right.
I
Well,
guess a lot of people come from different dimensions, and that Morgana does the same shit and
Ezreal kind of
has to
fucks
pretend
around
to
in
be a
dimensions.
fucking teacher at school.
Oh,
She
man.
doesn't have those dope ass wings.
Anyway, we can move on from the alien conundrum.
Those are the season 1 folks.
Okay.
So we can move on to like some season 2 stories, and we can come back to the season 2.
The cool kids, as they're
You
called.
know, the cool kids. Yeah. I said I kind of dubbed them the new kids on the block, and then
They're
like
kind of not though. Like Ari's been around the block.
no,
Oh.
like the Lux's squad was the new kids on the block, and then Ari's squad was, I called them the Jaded Misfits is what
I like how you have your own little nicknames for the Star Guardian group.
Yeah, that's good. Is that how you keep track of everybody?
Yeah, you know, you gotta.
It's fair.
They're not all jaded. Ezreal doesn't feel as jaded.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the-
Ez.
Yeah.
You can't call him
Get it
Ezreal.
right, yeah.
Well, that's why I call them like the jaded misfits, because like there's two jaded, and then they're like thrown into like another mixed team. You know,
That's fair.
That's true.
Misfit in that they don't fit like gel as a team in some ways, because they also seem very cool. They're presented.
They do, yeah. That
very
Lux
cool.
just I did really like all that. So that's getting into one of the stories of when they go to this camp, and Lux sees the group for the first time, and she just feels so painfully uncool as they're walking towards her, and it is a feeling that I have felt just innumerable times in my life, as I know I'm just a big dork loser.
Constantly.
No,
Just most of the time, not around you, hon.
Is it like the feeling?
damn.
Jeez, doggo.
Because I've never felt like that.
What about like when you go into a grocery store on your way back home from the Ren Fair and you're still like totally just in the garb? It's like, yeah, I'm just buying some Doritos and Mountain Dew because I'm fucking famished. I didn't eat the turkey leg today. Like,
No, because you look like a guy who would do that and be ashamed of it. Whereas like when I do it, like I'm like a fun little lady who goes to the Ren Fair, you know?
he's so whimsical.
And I was in the Ren Fair for so long that
You don't give a fuck.
I frequently was in.
Public, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you
because
would
we
be,
had to, we had to take our break from rehearsal and then go eat and shit, and yeah, you just got over it, I
I
guess.
get your Subway somehow.
A lot of Subway.
All right, so what's this? So Starfall, right? That's the
Yeah,
Ariel Lawrence.
which for the record does all the stories.
Huh.
That's nice. It's nice to have one writer
Yeah.
on the whole thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So this follows our New Kids on the Block. We'll stick with the established terminology. It's from Lux's perspective, and it's the end of summer, and I guess you'd say she's feeling sort of, I don't know, like the summer's ending, and maybe people are kind of like drifting. Her team is like, she has to make sure her team stays together, and she's trying to figure out something for them to do, and she decides to sign them all up to go to see this like meteor shower. There's had some show that's being put on by the university at this Camp Targon, right? By Lake Lunari or whatever, and and she's like, "That's it. I'm signing. Pack your bags, ladies. We're all going to Camp Targon to go see the meteor shower. Summer's not over yet." But they get there, and the team sort of immediately scatters. Jinx goes to do her own thing. Lulu and Poppy and them all kind of scatter off, and like we said, she runs into these super cool kids who just happen to be named after champions like Syndra and Ari and etc. Ari like totally doms her out, just turns and starts talking to Syndra mid conversation. Is like, okay, I'm not done talking to you, Lex.
It's so bitchy.
And Lex is hyper aware.
She's such a mean girl. She's very Regina George.
Yeah, absolutely. Ezreal's there, and he's nicer, but he's also obviously into Lux, right? So, sorry, I heard there's someone honking a horn like down the road by my house. It's very frightening for a second. Anyway, so Lex is feeling down because she's kind of getting like talked down to by Syndra and even Ari a little bit, and kind of feeling very insecure in like her position as a team leader, and Ezreal does kind of come in and cheer up a little bit, and she eventually finds the rest of the team, and they start like hanging out, and they're at their little campsite, and Janna tells this little story about how all the Star Guardians, it's kind of established that all the Star Guardians, when you sign up to be a Star Guardian, you kind of like, it becomes like a matter of fate. You're going to be a Star Guardian, and you kind of fated to sort of crumble away eventually in some way or another. Like there's like a kind of a doom fate far off in the distance for all of them, right?
Right, like there's no peaceful ending to a Star Guard. You're a Star Guardian until you die.
And that's how new ones are called.
Doing your Star Guardian duty.
Yeah. They say it in, I think, New Stars. That's the season 1 thing. That when a bunch of Star Guardians are called, it's right after a big cataclysmic battle has happened because a bunch of them have died or whatever, corrupted. And Janna's telling the story about how there was this one and she lost all of her friends and she, tried to defy fate and et cetera. And there's kind of a hint of there's some truth to it, right? Janna is older and knows things and has some beef with Syndra that we don't quite know about. And Lux also has been established has been having these horrible recurring nightmares of her and her team being swallowed up by darkness, right? And she goes to sleep and she wakes up and they're like, Lulu's gone and Jana's gone too. And so they start racing around trying to find her. And they find her at this place that Lulu had drawn this little, like you said, evil kid from a horror movie crayon picture. They kind of led them to her. And she seems fine. But then these horrible monsters pop out of the ground. And at first they're fighting them off and it seems cool. But then it gets all worse. And then all the new cool bitter misfits, was that it? Jaded misfits.
Jaded misfits.
The jaded misfits show up and it's like, oh, they're Star Guardians too, and they all save the day and they save Lulu, and Lux is sort of relieved, like, oh, afterwards, after Lux has kind of thrown herself in harm's way to save Lulu, Ari is there, and Lux is sort of like, oh, now Ari's here. Ari's like a real leader. Ari can lead us as a single big group, and Ari says she's not going to do that. And Lux doesn't quite get it, but there's obviously things have happened with the jaded misfits that we see in the story, that some things happen, and Ari is sort of like, oh, you're kind of innocent and naive, and she's half shrouded in darkness, and et cetera, right? So
if she says something like, more of us means there's more to lose or something, yeah.
I had a future once, and it, is that exactly right?
Yeah.
And that's where it ends. So there's the new Star Guardians they're not the new Star Guardians on the block. The Jaded Misfits are now on the block with the new Star Guardians. And they don't get along, although Ezreal seems he seems kind of nice, but again, he might just be trying to, mac a little bit, so who can say, right? He seems genuine to me.
I think he seems chill, like genuinely. He's like, oh, these people are chill. Yeah. That's kind of his personality.
Yeah, they mostly seem nice. Like the Soraka seems nice too. It's
I keep freaking forgetting that Soraka's there because she doesn't really talk, and they kept just saying this green-haired lady, and I was like, it's not Sona yet, right? Who else has a Star Guardian skin?
Yeah, and
then they had to say Soraka's name before I remembered.
You with the horn on
It's mostly the people who have lost one or more team members who are bitchy to everyone.
That's fair. Mostly Misfortune Ari. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which makes it makes sense.
Syndra.
And Syndra.
I did like reading this, and you get a better sense of their personalities and everything like that, especially the new kids on the block, Lux's team. We do spend a lot of time with them in the opening before they even get to the camp, and you really see the dynamics. It was nice. We'd gotten this story rundown so many times from you, John, that I recognized all the beats, but it was nice to get everything in between all of the conversations. Although a couple of things threw me off. One is how often they say negative names to each other that are just really stupid. Like Poppy keeps calling Jinx like Rocket Breath, and I guess that is very Sailor Moon. They had these like childish ways to tease each other with when the characters had a lot of friction, and Poppy and Jinx don't seem to like each other very much. I didn't care for that. And the other thing that was throwing me off was Ari's team obviously has been around longer, and it seems strange that Lux and their team wouldn't have any other signs of Star Guardians being around. Like there was no news article about some weird creatures that came out, and haven't they been fighting too this whole time, or no? But it seems like Ari and the team knew about them. They were not surprised to find out that Lux and other Star Guardians existed.
Yeah, I'm not positive that Ari's team has always been here.
Yeah,
okay, so they're newer. Because Ezreal clearly knew about Lux, though, but maybe Arya told them? It seemed like he knew that Lux was a Star Guardian as well.
Yeah.
They probably knew that there were Star Guardians here for sure. That seems to kind of be how it is when Star Guardians are assigned to random planets. It's like they get the lowdown, even though, I don't know, people on the planet might not.
But Lux didn't? That seems strange.
Well, because she was on the planet the whole time. They were probably sent to this planet with information.
Oh, so they're from another planet?
Potentially.
Maybe.
Okay.
That I couldn't speak to.
Now you're just throwing out an idea.
I remember there's a line, I went to look it up in the epilogue when Arya's talking with Lux, where she sort of says, the line she says is that, we're going to go back to the city. And what is it she says? The full line is, we sealed the encouragement point. My team will be returning to the city this morning. We'll take care of anything that comes up from now on. And y'all can stay here till you're recovered and stay out of our way. So I kind of they are new to the scene. They're new to the scene, right? And they're like,
okay, and they're gonna take over.
Yeah, this investigation's under our jurisdiction.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I heard you like snacking and napping. Lux, just go do that.
You're right. You're right though that Lux is like the local sheriff. She's a local like police chief, and now the FBI has been called in because for some reason, right, by powers that be. You know?
Right. Oh, this is how you run investigations around here, huh?
Oh, Lux.
So that is something that threw me off a bit, is when they get to this camp thing, which as far as I know, it was supposed to be sort of just just come and we'll host this thing to see the meteor shower. It's like, okay, well, where's your team? And it's like, you mean the group of people that I'm here at this public event with? I don't know if I'd call them a team unless we're into some really old
that
lingo.
was weird.
Oh, me and the squad, you know what I mean?
It did seem like Syndra was speaking to her as a Star Guardian, as like the leader of the Star Guardians.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, Lux should have been like, "What the fuck are you talking about? My team. Those are my friends. I don't know what they're doing."
Something like that. Yeah. So
the one thing that stuck out here is kind of the characterization of Syndra specifically. I feel like this one was definitely this one I think was written maybe before they had a better idea of the direction they were going to take Syndra. Something that the immediate thing that stuck out was like no mention of her eye patch at all.
Yeah, I think Lux would have noticed that.
Yeah. And like as she's describing how like cool and aloof she looks, it seems like that's something that would have stuck out.
Yeah.
God, what a fucking badass.
Got a fucking eye patch, dude.
it's almost set up like that because when she first runs into her, she can't see her at all. She even is like trying to talk to her and is not quite talking in the right direction. So then a big reveal of that. Yeah. That's funny. I didn't even think about that because I know I forgot about the eye patch on the skin.
Yeah, because you don't really see it that much in the skin. It definitely plays a bigger part later. I actually had to go back and read the later seasons just to make sure, like, is this something that happened since season 1? But, like, no, that shit's been... She's had that shit for forever.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for it.
This guy.
We got some cool character lines here. Ezreal says maps are totally overrated.
Yeah.
And Miss Fortune says I hate oranges.
Yeah.
Also, I loved Ezreal's little line when he's like trying to flirt, and he's like, "Sure, lamps are cool, but not exactly my favorite kind of light." Like, I feel like he probably thought that was so smooth, and was just like really upset when he didn't immediately get asked, like, "Oh, what's your favorite kind of light?" And like,
what a wild way to flirt. A guy would do that though. He would say lamps are cool.
What do you guys lamps? They're pretty cool. I love lamps.
I mean, I love lamps. I love lamps. Yeah.
Now, did you guys get the? I know I had mentioned the tension between, Jinx and Lux.
Oh, I mean, it's so
reads.
clear now. Although it feels very one-sided. I don't think Lux is interested in Jinx,
one-sided.
but Jinx clearly freaking hates Ezreal for flirting with Lux.
Yeah, especially when you get into the pajama one, the next one.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
Also, the little pigtail twist at the beginning of this story.
I don't remember that.
It's like when Lux was trying to get Jinx to come inside, and it said like she twisted her pigtail in her fingers as if like daring me to give her some reason to come inside or like something like that. And it's like, okay. I rarely see a pigtail twist used in anything but a flirty way.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah, I like the way that whole little interaction at the very start is written. Just like, oh, she definitely hurt. Just, I don't know, the way Lux's voice kind of carries through in it. It's fun.
Yeah. I do like a characterization of Jinx, too, is how she is always paying attention, even though no one really thinks she is.
Sure, yeah.
It also made me want pancakes.
Oh, dude, don't get me...
Yeah.
That's true.
Don't get me started. I got so hungry here about whipped cream and sprinkles. Fuck me up.
One thing that I didn't realize before, when Lulu's begging Janna to tell a story, and Janna starts telling her the story about the lonely first light and how he split itself into pieces so it wouldn't be lonely anymore, it gave big Kindred vibes.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I think
either.
you mean splooged everywhere, so it wouldn't be alone.
Right.
Get it right.
Spooged his Staratoza across the universe.
Come on now. All right, we got more.
But yeah, that's all I had for Starfall.
Yeah.
All right, you want?
It's good.
Yeah,
It's a fun read if you're into like this kind of little stilly fantasy. I don't know what to call this kind of fantasy.
I mean,
It's probably just magical girl fantasy.
what I was
Magical
thinking
girl
of.
fantasy.
Yeah.
There
It's a
you
big
go.
enough genre.
I forgot about that. You're right. Which I would have really loved this as a teen who was obsessed with Sailor Moon and card captors.
That was something I was curious about. Was like, yeah, like y'all had y'all watched any of that before? Like, was like.
Oh yeah.
I watched a lot of Sailor Moon relatively recently. It was kind of our like, I don't know what to watch either. Let's throw on Sailor Moon in the
Oh
background.
man, I don't know if I could do it. Honestly, I was so like really, really invested in Sailor Moon when I was younger, watching Toonami when I got home.
It is weird
Yeah,
going
that
back
shit
to
was
things
great.
like that. I did really like, I think maybe it's about the third season. Things started getting really funny and real fun. And my favorite bit I always remember was where they turned the big monster for the episode was like a door. It was a doorknob that got turned into a monster.
God, I don't remember that.
I don't know, but I always remember it's like the big bad is like, all right, they're coming. The Sailor Scouts are coming. Do your thing. And it's like, I'm a door. I can unlock locks and open doors. That's all I can do.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't have a ton of experience with it broadly. I feel like it makes me want to watch more. I don't know. Try and learn a bit more about it. That makes sense.
Card captors was great.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I've got very little exposure to the genre at all.
Well, you read it a lot. I feel like at this point,
I mean, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I have experience with Star Guardians.
Star Guardian, very in particular.
sure. All right, you want to do what's the full title? The exact title is the Pajama
The Slumber Party Summoning.
Slumber Party Something. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. So this one's like a little bit after the first story, right? Where it kind of opens with some of Ari's team has shown up at Lux's door because Lux was putting together a mandatory Star Guardian council. Star Guardian Council. That's what she calls it. Star Guardian Council meeting. And Lulu had invited Ari's team because they're Star Guardians, and that that logic kind of tracks. And so Ezreal,
She's a child, so that logic tracks.
yeah, that's it. So Sarah, Ezreal, and Soraka have shown up, and Lux isn't quite sure what to do, but invites them in, and Soraka's brought cinnamon buns, or is it cinnamon rolls? What does she call them? I'm sorry, cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls,
Okay, I
yeah.
know I said buns.
From Pantheon's Bakery.
Yeah, Pantheon's pastries.
Pantheon's Pastries.
Yeah. And it's kind of awkward, right? Everyone's a little uncomfortable with what to do. But they start kind of talking, and they start playing Truth or Dare, and and Jinx is demanding to know if Ezreal wants to date Lux, and Soraka is kind of, or Jaina is asking questions to Soraka about like, does Soraka remember the first star? And Soraka does, and Jaina doesn't, and why is that? And then they get Ezreal to do a dare where he's like, oh, do your portal thing. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll do the portal trick. I love the portal trick. And so the whole time Lulu's been making one of those fortune paper folder thingamajigs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Ezreal sort of pops through. He does his arcane shift, right? He pops through a portal and he kind of grabs the little paper thing. It's like, no problem. But then all of a sudden it starts flying around the room, and one of their little like void monster demon things pops out. Because that happens sometimes when he does it. And so they're all trying to kill the little gremlin that's running around, and then Miss Fortune draws her pistol and is like, Lux, I don't know if she's actually aiming it at Lux or it just kind of looks like it, but Lux is convinced that she's about to die, about to get shot.
She's really, very suddenly is like, oh
This is
my
it.
god, she's gonna kill me now.
That's it, son.
This party was so bad that
I burnt the roast and everything, but
She didn't burn the roast
not at
yet.
this point. Yeah. Miss Fortune pulls the trigger, doesn't kill Lux, shockingly, And instead kills the thing. And that's when everyone realizes that dinner has caught fire and has been ruined. And Lux is like, oh, I'm so... She's sitting there looking at her ruined roast or whatever. And it's like, oh, I'm so bad. Of course you hate me. And Miss Fortune's like, oh, actually, this could be kind of fun, because Miss Fortune's been a little sort of like, oh, do you guys braid each other's hair? Do you like,
yeah, making fun of them?
Do you do light as a feather, stiff as a board, or whatever? Right?
I do like how she's like asking if they braid each other's hair, and Lux keeps trying to be like, no, we're very serious, and everyone else is like, we love to braid each other's. We braid each other's hair all the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
what up?
Obviously.
And then, so Miss Fortune kind of warms to her, and Ezreal ordered them pizza, and they're all going to have a good night together, no problem. They're going to braid Ezreal's hair, however much they can, anyway.
Put a few little braids in there.
Yeah.
This was fun, cute. I think the detail I liked the most was when Lulu was making that little fortune, the little star fortune thing, which for anyone, I don't know, when you put your fingers in and you kind of move it around. I don't remember what they're called. But anyway, she asked for a number and they settled on 246. And then at some point, while they're all playing 2 or 3 there, she is sitting there counting to 246 because it was picked.
Yeah, it's funny.
That was good.
And so is Soraka's familiar. Like,
oh yeah, I was really invested.
Yeah, I like this. Soraka being here is kind of nice because she does actually talk, and I kind of maybe it's because she's like the most chill and is just like, yeah, let's eat some cinnamon rolls and do fortune telling. She seems the most on board with everything, so it's kind of nice to have her around. She's just sort of relaxing, almost as a character, if that makes sense.
A chill presence.
Like, okay,
plus, who you love the person who brings cinnamon rolls to a party.
Love that person.
Sure.
Yeah.
She gave me big Pitch Perfect vibes when she walked through the door, just like carrying the box of cinnamon rolls and like getting close to Lux. I was like, I brought cinnamon rolls.
I think
that one character who whispers everything.
She just says cinnamon rolls. She doesn't even say like I brought it. It's just
Hey, my twin in the womb.
Yeah, there's another moment where she says, I think she says yes to doing truth or dare, and she says she nods with her whole body, which I thought was a neat way of like writing enthusiasm. I don't know.
There was
or
one
she's
random...
just drunk as shit.
She's like cinnamon rolls got her fucked up.
Those were special cinnamon rolls.
Just right.
This one's for me. Don't let Lulu have this one, okay?
Oh god, Lulu got it.
There was one point in this story where the first light, or the first star, got its name changed to the first light and then back again.
Maybe it's like a regional thing. It's like, what do you call something, a soda or a pop? You know what I mean? Or a Coke.
Just interchangeable, like Jesus and Jesus.
Maybe.
Sure.
Since everyone seems to have sort of fragmented memories of what's going on with it, I wouldn't be opposed to it if everyone had slightly, like, there was a little more varied ways of referring to it or something like that, right? It'd be interesting.
Right. I am curious, like, how, so, like, I guess how we're assuming it works then is, like, when the first star spread its light across the universe, because it kind of said that it existed before, like, everything, right? And kind of created everything.
It was the Big Bang.
Yeah, so I guess when people are mentioning, because they don't just mention that Soraka remembers the first light, they specifically that she remembers the first light when it was whole before it split. So I'm curious, like, if part of the spreading its light and magic was also spreading bits of his memory around.
That's
too,
how that reads.
And she's just like the only one that, I don't know, has that bit of memory from when it was whole, or
that's an interesting
non-corrupted memory. Who knows?
That is a real interesting idea of like, what would it be like to if the idea that like a single individual contains within themselves just a small fraction of that whole memory, and then for someone to have access or remember the whole memory, you know what I mean? It could make sense why and if Lulu still talks to it, like why they might be sort of more spacey and seem off, or just not always all there,
Right.
It's kind of interesting. I know they make the first star a little more nefarious as things go on. At least I feel like it. So I'm more interested in it as we progress down
really
the road.
Is Lucifer whispering to Lulu? His evil first star.
It's kind of poltergeist.
Who knows? Mike Berry.
I could see her sit in front of that TV.
You do get a little bit of you get a bit of the misfortune tragic backstory here too. Like you don't actually get the backstory, but just like the whole thing when she thought that Lux was afraid that she was going to shoot her, she was like very specifically like, hey, I need to make this very clear to you. Like, I would never hurt another Star Guardian ever. And like she gets that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, there's a lot of like very pointed moments and like looks in this and the first one. I guess even maybe a little bit in the next one, where it's very like severely like there's something there, right?
I do like how reading it on the wiki, if they drop a hint to somebody that came about later, they would link it because they're like, you remind me of someone. I know who you remind me of, and they highlight that as Zaya. I was like, oh, thank you, because I would not have thought of that or remembered later.
All right, you want to hop into the last one that we said we kind of cut off for season 2?
I totally forgot that I did read this. It was the last one I read too, and I just completely forgot.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah. Now this one is kind of like, this was a judgment call on my part. I feel like this could fit anywhere between season 2 and season 3. I clumped it in season 2 because while it does reference Zoe, who's a season 3 character,
she's not in it.
She's not technically in it. Just her.
Well, kind of.
Just her little familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super tease. This is like the start of season 2, right? Like,
right,
or 3, I should say. Right, I suppose.
Yeah,
I say season 2 in that I think of season 2 as that's actually season 1, right? Because that's the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So this is the Twilight Star. I don't know why I'm getting the videos all mixed up with the actual stories. Yeah, it's a Twilight Star, and it's got Lux and her team and Miss Fortune. They're all kind of going on like patrol, kind of like Buffy, right? Lulu had drawn a picture. That's like the specific reason. Is that Lulu had drawn a picture taking them to this specific playground because she said that there was the picture had these weird sort of circles drawn all over it. And Lulu, as we've seen in other stories, will draw things, and they're kind of premonition-y. So last minute thing. But Lex kind of asked. Did she originally ask Miss Fortune to come, or had she originally been trying to get Ari to come?
I think she asked the team, and most of them just couldn't make it.
Yeah, because Ezreal actually had detention and things like that. Yeah. Right. So only MF is there, and they're doing their patrol, and it's like you said, Miss Fortune is kind of talking to Lex, like, oh, you remind me of kind of like this person, kind of like that person. And it's sort of like this. All 3 of them kind of mixed together, I wonder who that could be. And everyone's kind of hanging out, and Poppy and Jinx are bickering because there's nothing going on. And as the sun is setting, Lulu is she's swinging on swings, right? And she's like, I want to see more stars. What's that? She's the first one to spot they call it the Twilight Star, right? Is that what it's?
Right.
Yeah. Which I guess is like is that the first one that shows up when Twilight falls?
It must be
something like that. And you get the wish on it, right? And she's like, I want to see more stars. And it's like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it starts getting darker and darker, way darker than it should, way faster. And these circles start showing up, and they realize they're bubbles. And everyone's kind of not sure what's going on. But Lux immediately recognizes that there's a problem and sort of starts yelling at people to start getting down. And they start fighting off the bubbles. And then the bubbles get all bunched together. And this sort of darkness sort of expands from within and sort of into this sort of darkness jellyfish is kind of the way they describe it.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
And they're fighting the thing off, and unfortunately Lulu gets hit by a bubble as they sort of banish this thing off. And while this is happening, there's these sort of laughter and annoyed groans and just other vocalizations sort of kind of reverberate through the air when things happen with the bubbles and the jellyfish. And Lulu seems okay, but afterwards she she has these little lines when she first wakes up, sort of about like people being caught in dark. I don't remember the actual things she says. Maybe we'll get into it. But it's also sort of revealed
I don't remember either.
Yeah, that back in the slumber party story, when Miss Fortune had shown up, she had been texting someone on her phone and been getting annoyed by it, and eventually just kind of put it down. And we kind of find out that one of the reasons Ari did not come is because Miss Fortune cannot reach her. Ari had gone off after the was it the night of the slumber party thing, or maybe even after the Starfall.
Yeah.
To go do something and hasn't come back, so that she doesn't know where the hell she is, and so everyone's a little. I think it just kind of ends with them being like, "What are we gonna do? I don't know if we'll be ready, but we have to be for whatever's coming."
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and you get she's coming.
Oh yeah, I like how Zoe's presented here a lot. The idea of it getting darker and darker, and then ominous bubbles. It would be creepy if you just start seeing bubbles fall from this dark sky.
You're on a playground,
right?
Yeah,
it is an eerie setting,
and you hear creepy children's laughter.
Yeah, and Lulu's there, and she's a weird child too, drawing weird pictures.
You got taken there by a weird child's drawing. It's eerie from end to
bubbles.
end. Yeah.
Is this the ring?
Yeah, the way
the bubbles were.
The way they described the jellyfish thing popping into the air, I thought was neat, because they kind of described this circle just sort of appearing, and then I don't remember the exact wording, but I could really visualize it, even though it's sort of just manifested darkness or dark energy or something that has formed in the air,
Yeah.
Is neat. I think the reveal of Ari being missing is interesting. I don't remember that beat at all, so I'm interested to know what's going on with that.
No, me neither.
And I know it's Zoe, but I'm curious. I could be there for the experience. It's interesting because she's the first real villain that we've seen. Everything else has been sort of generic monsters, right? So
right.
I'm curious.
She's been fighting generic Heartless until now.
Yeah. Right. Ansem's on the scene,
and now Zoe's heart has been darkened by the dark heart.
But there's still light in there. You can't have light without shadow, or shadow without light, or whatever. The brighter the light, the deeper the shadow.
We need to count how many times we've done our Kingdom Hearts speak.
It's
a lot.
It's very applicable in many situations. So
right,
it is. Yeah. Did anyone else get vibes that Lux was crushing on Miss Fortune at the beginning of this? Because that's what I was feeling, and I love the idea of this little love circle. Lux is in the MF, Ezreal's in the Lux.
I'd be open to
Jinx
it.
is in the Lux.
I would be open to it.
Maybe everyone just wants to do Lux. I don't know. It's hard to say though, because she just is really admiring her and wants to ask her a lot of questions, and it's almost like, do I want to be her or be in her? One of those,
Sure. Maybe she could dress up like.
It's like that crazy ex-girlfriend song.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah, but that when you're attracted to women, that especially when you're not positive about it, it does feel like that, where you're like, I want to be you so bad, but also what is this fuzzy feeling?
I'll be open to it. I think it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting because my first suspect for that would have been Ari, right? Because she's so oh man, Ari's so BA.
Yeah.
But she connects more with Sarah on because Sarah's there more, right? So that.
I gotta call her Miss Fortune. I can't call her Sarah.
Yeah, it is
That's
weird.
your wife's
it
name.
is weird.
I just feel like, wait, Sarah was there?
They make such a point in these stories of, at first, Miss Fortune is only oh, I'm only Sarah to my friends, so call me Miss Fortune. And then the big shift is in the second story of oh, you can call me Sarah now. So she's always Sarah, right? Take that energy into the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
No, in the bedroom she has to call her Madame Fortune. Oh shit, I want to write this story now. I haven't written Smut in a while.
So yeah, I'll be curious to see where they go. I feel Johnny, you might know. Don't spoil it for me, because I don't remember if they ever developed that. They probably won't, surely, right?
About where Ari is, or the relationship between those two?
I assume they'll do the Ari thing. Just the relationship between those two. or anything along those lines.
Misfortune and Lux.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a.
Yeah, I don't remember either, so it'll be a surprise for me too.
Cool.
I mean, I doubt it would be romantic, but I do like how this friendship has developed, and I just kind of assume that they're all going to get brushed aside for like the future seasons. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be focused on different people. That's the feeling I have.
That's yeah. You know what? I'll not think about that. Because I'm kind of enjoying, I guess, in a relaxed kind of way, this little slice of AU. I don't know.
I was feeling that way too when I started looking into this. I'm like, I like these characters, and I know that we're about to like double the amount of them, and I don't like that. Like, you know, when you're hanging at like a small party and you guys are having such a good time, and then more people come, and you're like, this has just ruined everything. Am I the only one who feels like that?
Sure, like 10's company, 30's a crowd, or whatever.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it's feeling like.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe things will be more conclusive, or you know, like I'm not too interested in like them doing a lot with Soraka, for example. I don't expect a lot of change from her, but Janna's one where you would, right?
You focus a lot on Janna and Lux and like Misfortune and Ari. Like they got a lot of attention, and Syndra, even like she was in it so little, but like you're getting a lot of weirdness from her
for sure.
Whereas the side characters feel like side characters.
That's fine. Yeah.
Who's your favorite Star Guardian of these groups?
That's a good question. Of the groups is interesting. You think? You mean like from all of them, or just
like one in each group, or
however you want to do it.
I
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I liked Jinx. I think I liked Jinx mostly just I liked Jinx because she was a little more reined in. I suppose she was.
Yeah.
I don't know. What am I trying to think of? I liked her. I guess I kind of liked some of her nicknames. Like she's calling Lulu Loops, and
she always calls her
Short
Loops,
Stack.
and that's cute. Short Stack she calls Poppy.
you know, she's like I said, she's a little more reined in. She's very you know, she's not like too wild or frustrating or annoying. She's just kind of a little bit dickish in a way that's like, oh, this is Jinx.
Yeah.
She's like an actual teenager.
Sure.
Still a bit rebellious and whatnot, and aloof and trying to pretend she doesn't care when she does. Yeah, I always like seeing Jinx in these more heroic roles. I think that's fun.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, her mediums, they're easy to remember, not just because there's two of them and they're always together, but also because of them. I think they had the most personality. Like I remember the bit where I think they had woken up, like one of them woke up and started just like rolling the other one like down a hill or something like that. They were still asleep. That was fun.
You're right. I think they were really the only ones that had a lot of personality.
Yeah. And for the Misfits, I kind of liked Ezreal, because
I liked Ezreal too, honestly.
He's very charming, you know. He's got very Ezreal vibes.
Yeah, he does have good Ezreal vibes.
Yeah, I like the Lulu characterization. You know?
You like the creepy kid in the horror movie?
I like the creepy kid in a horror movie. I dug it.
It's fun. They've got an interesting little mix of things going on. I still am surprised that Janna is portrayed as like being so much older than them. I guess it's like it is hard to imagine. Could they have aged her down a bit? I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe you can't have it.
I don't know. It does feel weird that she's hanging out with them. You know, like get friends your own age, Janna.
Who knows?
Weird.
Maybe she's not that much older. It's hard to say.
Well, I mean, you know, Poppy's hammer is older than she is.
That's true. They did establish
they're
that.
Weird old
Imagine being your age now and hanging out with 16-year-olds. Like, absolutely not. I would
Not
feel
just
like they're
hanging
wrong.
out, pretending to be one and going to school with them.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to figure out too.
Shit, you're right.
It's that nitty gritty. I think is where it's like I can't think about that too much with this AU. Otherwise, it falls apart a little bit. Just enjoy it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we got to go back to the facts about the Misfits.
All right, Misfit facts,
right.
baby. Let's start with Ari.
Yeah.
Her magical medium is named Kiko. The mischievous Kiko accompanies Ari as a vulpine embodiment of her charisma and sass. Even unprompted, Kiko isn't shy about saying how it really feels, though only Ari can understand its unique language. As biting as the creature's manners can sometimes be, it's not too proud to turn down a good belly rub and cuddle. Just try to refrain from saying, "Aww."
God.
Favorite food? Ice cream sundae. Cherry, not optional.
Oh.
Hobby? Dancing. Favorite subject? Yearbook. Blood type? O.
Okay.
Not like class president or something like that. Yearbook. I guess that's
Right.
not like a. I feel like they're stretching it a
That
bit.
seems
here.
more like a club.
Yeah.
Like there's a yearbook club.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely wasn't a subject for us.
Maybe it's an elective. She's in college too, right? They say they're in the university, aren't they? Are in her group? They're from the university.
I
I
thought
don't remember.
I didn't hear you. They said they were second year or third years.
Okay, maybe-
I didn't know
Maybe
if
it's
they
just that
specified.
meteor thing was being put on by the university or something like that. They were kind of running it. I don't know. Okay, I'll just take it that
I
she's in
think
the yearbook
Syndra's
club.
definitely supposed to be more that age.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, Lux says that Ari's
She's
not
trying
that
to
much
act
older
cool.
than her.
She's hanging out with high schoolers.
Yeah, but she's got an eye patch.
Or maybe
That
she
makes it
doesn't.
worse. Imagine a college kid with an eye patch hanging out with a bunch of 16-year-olds.
There's some.
Like, what the fuck are you doing here, you pirate?
Sorry.
I'm putting on events exclusively for 16-year-olds to come to this
And then I scold them.
What do you
And
mean
they-
making the
secluded
yearbook?
park.
Oh shit.
Now we've got Misfortune, whose magical mediums are Boki and Baki. Boki and Baki are twins born of Sarah Fortune's desire for vengeance.
Oh, hell yeah, girl.
But it's hard to tell by their playful best friends forever demeanor. Where Misfortune charges forward with a burning rage, this duo allies with her from a more easygoing perspective. It's no fun watching the bad guys burn if you can't butt bump about it.
Butt bump?
Butt bump.
They're butt bumping?
They're butt bumping.
Okay. It just
I guess they don't have like hands to high five, maybe. They got a butt bump.
Maybe.
We
should
Maybe
butt
they do.
bump more.
We should.
Ass
it.
to ass. That's not the way I meant it. I meant it
Uh-huh.
like a fun little cute
Yep.
butt bump.
Mm-hmm.
he should have said that in this scene.
Butt bump. But in the high pitched voice. Butt bumps.
Favorite food? Shrimp tempura. Hobby? Poker. Favorite subject? Event planning. Blood type AB.
School that they go to.
It's very open. It's very
They go to those like schools that you see in movies. With just
Oh, they're like really,
I
they seem
love
super
movie high
advanced and
school.
have the weirdest hobbies.
yeah.
Yeah. High School Musical had a full garage. Remember that?
Right.
We had a garage in my high school. For shop?
Fuck.
Like you talking about a shop garage? What are we talking about?
It was
But
like a
an
mechanic,
actual,
like with cars
with
in
a
it.
full car in it?
Yeah, we had one of them.
How big was your high
Oh,
school?
what? I
It's
went
pretty
to a
big.
pretty big high school. We did not have
okay.
that. I mean, we had wood shop and stuff, but we didn't have like
No, we had
a garage
yeah.
with cars.
My class had like 80 people. We didn't have that shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
John,
sure.
you
Yeah.
had a different situation happening. I don't know. Maybe there was a part of my school that had cars, and I just knew I was never going to take those classes.
It's fair.
That's
Possible.
fair.
But we had a vocational school right next to us, so I think that's where the
Oh,
cars
that might
were.
do it. Yeah.
Ours was in the next town.
So it was the movie theater. Actually, that was a few towns over.
That was a few towns over. Next up, we got Soraka. Magical medium, Shisa. Grumpy and overprotective, Shisa guards Soraka from anything that could threaten her safety, including her own naivete. The tenacious creature is often frustrated by Soraka's trusting nature and will throw itself into a fit or sulk for a good while afterward, although red bean ice cream has been known to cut its tantrum time down by half.
Ooh.
Favorite food? Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
Hobby? Stargazing. Favorite subject? Health. Blood type? AB.
All right, the health one got me. That's kind of funny. Soraka?
That is good.
Yeah.
No, the Soraka one's good.
Yeah. We got Ezreal, magical medium, Yuto. Yuto is a mirror of Ezreal's youthful wanderlust, though it prefers to witness their travels from inside the explorer's gauntlet. But when out in the open, the feline freely roams the skies, serving as a valuable scout. It can also fuse with Ezreal to grant him angelic wings and the power of flight, which often leaves an impression on the ladies.
Is he not supposed to be showing anybody? I guess he only hangs out with the ladies.
That's
though.
right. It's an exclusively lady group. Favorite food? Pizza. Just like from the slumber party. Hobby? Traveling. Favorite subject? Archaeology. Blood type B. And finally, we have Syndra. Magical mediums. Multi. A triple manifestation of Syndra's incredible power. Multi represent an array of emotions. These impish orbs make various squeaks, chuckles, and snickers while carrying out the veteran guardian's will. They never stray too far from her side. She's the center of their little universe and the only one who can juggle their energy. Favorite food? Chocolate ganache cake.
Oh, good taste. That sounds great.
Hobby? Chess. Favorite subject? Theater.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What a Renaissance woman.
Blood type AB.
Theater.
Theater, chess, juggling.
Chocolate ganache cake.
Chocolate ganache, right?
I do like...
So you meant Renaissance fair woman.
Yeah.
Because that all sounds like that. Theater, chess, and juggling. I just summed up the Renaissance fair people.
Fair. I do like this for her, though, you know? Because she's like, her whole thing is like scheming and trying to be 3 steps ahead. So, like, I like chess and like
Yeah, it's all
her
makes
having
sense.
to pretend to be normal, like, you know, theater's her training. I dig it.
For sure.
Knocked it out of the park with the Misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's just the others that don't really make much sense.
you know, this was
Maybe
the
they'll
second
get progressively
batch.
better each season, you know?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll love the new ones because they'll have it like so zeroed in on how to do
Yeah,
it.
I don't think you're gonna beat Soraka's favorite subject being health. That's hilarious.
We'll see when they get to Rels.
Rel, what's her favorite subject gonna be? Metal,
I don't know, metalworking.
metalworking, metal shop.
Sure, metal shop,
Welding.
welding. Metal shop's good.
Or
Chemist.
Equestria.
Oh, I forgot about the horse. She's a horse girl.
Okay, I do kind of like that. Okay.
All right. There were a couple cinematics.
Yeah. Pretty short ones, but...
Yeah.
First one was Burning Bright. That was the season 1 where we see Lux's team apparently falling to the planet they're assigned to, but, you know, in a dream we mentioned. But they're all now attending high school, except for Jinx, who's had a falling out. Her and Lux and her team are fighting a big old Baron, though, and getting rocked. And then Jinx shows up to save the day, and they make up.
Yay!
Yay.
This song still gets stuck in my head. I watched it earlier today and still goes in my head.
Right?
I always forget it. Like, I couldn't sing it right now.
He's gonna do the whole...
Star Guardian.
I still don't remember. I watched this an hour ago, like right before we started filming. I don't know. Anyway.
Then we got A New Horizon, where we get to see that famous magical girl transformation.
It's a good one. They did a good one. I like the way the like balls or orbs or whatever kind of collide almost with her wrist. Like, I don't know. It's just it looks good. They did good with this one.
Yeah.
And we get to see the the foreshadowing of her dead team and the lights arriving from the new team. She's got like the emblems of her fallen partners in her hand at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun.
And I've got a few fun facts.
Ooh. It's been a while since we've had fun facts. I'm excited.
Just a few. Just a little bit. That's all, folks. Star Guardian and Immortal Journey are the only skin lines where all non-legendary skins get new home guard animations.
Neat.
Now, if the player uses the following Star Guardian skins on the ally team, a stripped-down version of Burning Bright will play as the game starts. Janna, Jinx, Lulu, Lux, or Poppy. Anyone from the new kids. Now, if the player uses any of the, the Jaded Misfits, then a stripped-down version of A New Horizon will play, which will then transition into Burning Bright as the game starts.
That's pretty cool.
I always have the music down, so I never hear it. Also, I don't play the Star Guardian.
So that's a real thing. It's not using that much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like they do that with a handful. I think the only one I ever hear it, though, because it's the only skin I actually do play, is like the True Damage Echo. They play Giants when the game starts.
Yeah, I get the Lucian, the Demacia Vice Lucian opener. That's a good one.
That's great.
That is good. Now, Lux's dance references Doki Doki Precure, and her recall animation references Sailor Moon. You'll never believe it. If a player earned mastery level 5, 6, or 7 during the 2017 Star Guardian event and equips either of the icons earned from the Invasion game mode, a player would receive a temporary Star Guardian skinned mastery badge emote for that tier that they could flash, which until September 26, 2017, then it went away.
Did y'all play Invasion?
I loved Invasion, yeah.
Oh, really? I did not.
I don't think I did. I don't
It
think
was
I was
like,
playing League at the time, really.
It was, I feel like it was the precursor to
I know you're talking
the
Swarm?
Vampire
Yeah.
Survivors one that they came
Swarm,
out with.
yeah. Swarm was great, man. I wish we played that more.
It's like I played the shit out of Swarm.
You did play a lot of Swarm.
I almost 100%ed it.
That's awesome.
And finally, earning the mark of the Star Guardian required doing the Star Guardian quiz before October 20th, 2016. It's like a special icon you could earn by doing a quiz that was up on the forums.
Ooh, we should find that and do that at the end of this and see if we could have gotten ourselves that there icon or whatever.
What's Jinx's blood type?
Right?
I definitely wouldn't remember. There were a lot that were A, B, I guess.
B.
No, I think she was O. I think she was O.
Poppy's O, and I think Jinx is B, but that's my guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think she was
I have
A.
no memory.
Or
But
she
can you
was
scroll
B,
up and
Lux
look for
was
sure?
A.
Yeah, Jinx is
We're talking about Jinx, right?
Jinx is
Yeah,
B,
Jinx.
I think.
Yeah,
Because Lux was A, right?
Fuck.
Yeah.
A, B, O. Oh. It's a fan fiction thing. Are we good?
I think so.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
That was Star Guardians.
Season 1 and 2.
We'll probably do 3 and 4 maybe next month or something like that. I don't know if we'll combine them or anything. But thank you so much for listening to seasons 1 and 2 of the Star Guardian AU. That was fun. We have a Twitch. Twitch.tv/Loreheads. John streams on Saturday evenings generally. He plays TFT and A-Rooms with viewers, although this Saturday I'm not going to be able to because Mark's coming over.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless you want to stream while they're here.
But we got Slay the Spire to play and D&D to play.
That's true.
Yeah, I've been
and
thinking about
stupid
Slay the
movies to
Spire.
watch. Okay. We also have a YouTube if you want to see what our beautiful faces look like. You only hear our voices. Now see, John,
What?
you look beautiful.
Thanks.
You're welcome. John also has some fun parody songs there. We post clips and stuff. You could try to find the old Halloween episode where Mark was dressed as Anivia. It was great. We also have something else. A Discord. If you want to find out. I don't know. If you want to find some people to chat with or play League with or talk about how beautiful our faces are, you can join the Discord. We also have a Patreon. We're about to post a new Patreon video where we watch the Season 2 World Finals.
Season 1.
Season 1, you're right. We're going to do Season 2 next. We watched Season 1 Lily Spurts World Finals. Just the last game. And it was a lot of fun. What a throwback. We just couldn't get over. I don't even remember the game. We just couldn't get over what everyone looked like. And what the items were. And that we had to watch it in 360p. Because that was all that was available on the official Riot Games.
Or is it 9?
We literally could not read what level they were because it was so bad. But we look great. So thank you so much to all of our patrons.
And a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, Mr. Dead and King of Hearts, if you were Star Guardians who were chosen by the First Light, I would also try and defy fate so that you didn't have to burn out in a blaze of glory.
Glory! But they'd be a blaze of glory.
Right?
Yeah, but you'd burn out.
Yeah, but you burn brightest, you burn
I'd save
shortest.
You make sure they're the blades of glory.
Hey.
Like that Will Ferrell movie.
Mm-hmm.
About ice skating.
I kind of love that movie.
Yo, me too. I haven't seen it in so long. All right, I know what movie we're watching this weekend. That was what I watched a lot, like, because I had the DVD, and like I don't know what it would be like to go back and watch it now, but I do have like a few lines that really like stuck with me. Anyway, what a great film. Maybe if it's really offensive when you watch it, I'm so sorry. It was the early 2000s. Anyway, please be sure to join us next week as we're going to talk about the region of Ionia.